So now let us talk about the properties of integers with reference to the mathematical operation of multiplication and division. Okay, so we will study that for closure first. Let's say we have two integers and we are multiplying them together. We are saying that under closure, the multiplication of two integers will always result in a number that is an integer. Okay, but when I divide those two numbers, any two integers rather, I would say that the result of this operation will not be an integer. Okay. So let's apply some numbers to it to understand how it works. So let's say my first two numbers are 2 and 3. 2 and 3 gives me 6. It's an integer, correct? Then let's say my another is negative 4 to be multiplied with 5. One positive and one negative, and it results in negative 20. Or if I were to take two negative numbers, such as negative 8 to be multiplied with negative 3, it will be positive 24. All of these cases will result into an integer. We can play with this, any set of two numbers, and you will always find the result to be integer. So we say that the closure does apply for multiplication, okay? But let's say I take two integers, 4, and I divide that with 6. And this results in 4 over 6, which is not an integer, it's a fraction rather, correct? If you were to take negative 2 with another integer, let's say negative 3, it will be a positive fraction, it will be 2 over 3. So these two cases are good enough for us to justify that the closure does not work on division, right? So this is not applicable. Now next go talk about what is the commutative property and how does it behave when we apply a multiplication or a division operation on two integers. So what exactly is commutative principle? The commutative principle states that if your numbers can freely move around the mathematical operation, which is multiplication in this case, then we say that the principle of commutative property holds true. Meaning A times B is the same thing as B times A. And it does make sense intuitively, right? And at the same time, we are saying that A divided by B is not the same as B divided by A. Okay? So why don't we just apply some numbers to it and see how it works out. So first I'm multiplying 4 with 6. 4 is first, 6 is second, and the result is 24. But on the right hand side, I reverse my multiplication, that I'm multiplying 6 first and then I'm taking 4. But this is also 24, right? Meaning both statements are equal. Let's say we have two negative numbers, negative 2 to be multiplied with negative 5. It will be positive 10. Two negatives make a positive, right? But when I take a different order of numbers, I take negative 5 first and I multiply negative 2 with that, I still get 10, right? Meaning both of these statements are equal. Or in short, you can say that the commutative principle works on multiplication. But let's say we take a division now. We have a number 7 and it is to be divided with a number 5, okay? And we say that, of course, 7 divided by 5 is equal to 7 over 5, right? But when I reverse this sequence, take 5 first and divide that with 7, this will give me 5 by 7, right? Or you say that this fraction 1 is not the same as the fraction number 2. Well, one example is just good enough for us to justify that one property will not hold true on this specific operation when we talk about the division sign. So we can say very clearly that commutative does not work on division. Now let's go take a look at the third principle, which is about associative law. And we will find that since associative is closely linked with commutative principle, it will work on the multiplication, but associative will not work on division. So let's go take a look at that. So what exactly is associative law? The associative law states that if you have three integers, then it should not matter how you multiply those two integers or how you group them together. The net result should be the same. Meaning the group of B and C to be multiplied with A should be identical to the product of A and B, which in return will be multiplied with C. Okay, but the same principle does not hold true when we have a division operation instead of the multiplication, meaning A divided with B, which is in turn divided with C. This group of operation is very different compared to the group of operation on the right hand side, meaning A divided by B in return divided with C is not the same as the statement on the left hand side. So now I have few negative numbers. I have negative 2 to be multiplied with negative 4 to be multiplied with negative 10. Okay. And on the right hand side, I have the same three numbers, negative 2, negative 4 and 10. Okay. So this is my product 1 and this is my product 2. Okay. And on the left hand side, this is my grouping. So first, negative 4 to be multiplied with negative 10, it will give you 40. Two negatives will result into a positive number, which in return will be multiplied with negative 2, and this gives you negative 80, right? Now on the right hand side, I see that negative 2 with negative 4, it gives you 8. Two negatives will make a positive times negative 10, and that will be negative 80. So once again, the left is equal to the right. Right? So you can play with any pair of numbers, 2 or 3 or 4. You will always find this result holding true. And that is what we are stating, that the associative law works for multiplication. So shall we give some example of this division thing? So if I were to state that my number A is 2, B is 6 and C is 3. And this is my sequence of operation. Okay. And clearly 6 divided with 3 is 2 and 2 divided with 2 is equal to 1. Correct? Why did I divide 6 with 3 first? Because it is inside the parenthesis here. Correct? Hence it has to be operated first, and that is my group 1 anyway. Correct? But if I were to apply the same numbers on the right hand side, I will say that it is 2 divided with 6, which in turn will be divided with 3. Now 2 divided with 6 will result into 1 over 3. Correct? When you divide that with 3, what you get is 1 over 9. So you see there is a huge difference of this result from the left versus the right hand side. And that is why we were stating that the associative law, it will not work for the division sign, just like it did not work for the subtraction sign. So whenever we talk about the division sign, that is between two integers, the order of these digits, how they have been placed, how they have been grouped together, it really does matter. It makes a very big impact on the final outcome of that entire series of mathematical operations. Okay. So to summarize our discussion, we say that there are two operations under discussion, the multiplication and division. We state that for closure, it works on multiplication, it works on commutative, and it also works on associative. But none of these properties will be applicable when we have division sign under consideration. So none of them are applicable on the division sign. Now recall our previous finding from our previous tutorial that when you studied the addition and subtraction operation, we found that the closure property holds true on addition and subtraction. The commutative property and associative property also holds true for the addition operation. But neither the commutative nor the associative property was applicable when we had subtraction as a mode of operation between two numbers. So this is the key point of our discussion today, or the summary of our discussion, that how these three properties are relevant to the various mathematical operations, specifically for the case of the integers. Okay, with that, we will take a pause here and you could practice more using our quiz and exam modules.